Hey guys, welcome to Reinier Jesus. Welcome to another video. And today is time to go back to those kind of videos that I was doing before about who is a certain player. And today it's time to do who is Reinier Jesus Carvalho. And you guys know, he's been rumored to, apparently Barcelona are interested in acquiring the Brazilian. The fee is supposed to be around 40 million euros. His market value is about 20 million euros. He has a release clause of 70 million, and it would have been an interesting case to sign him last year because he was ending contract with Flamengo, but they renewed his contract. Apparently he has a release clause of 70 million, but 40 million apparently would be enough for Flamengo to consider letting the youngster go, departing this window. What are the considerations for me to sign in Reinier? I think that he's a player that has really good technical quality. Like, my valuation of the player at first glance, seeing pretty decent minutes of him, the World Cup under 17, the minutes that he's played with Flamengo. Remember, Flamengo is going to play the Copa Libertadores, the final of the Copa Libertadores against River Plate later this month. And my valuation on the player is that he's a really good player. I understand why Barcelona are following him. He has really good technical qualities. He seems to be pretty smart on the ball, pretty silky. You know, he is pretty hard to make him lose the ball. Distributional wise, I'm not too sure, or at least I haven't seen enough of him just yet in that sense. He's not like an Artur, a Frenkie de Jong, a Ricky Puig. He's more of a number 10, if I have to say anything. And if I had to compare him to anyone, I would say that he profiles very similarly to Kaka, to Coutinho, those kind of players that are number 10s, that the best position is going to be the number 10 position. And following this is, I'm going to keep talking about the player, but also I'm going to give my stance already in the signing, and that is that I wouldn't sign him for Barcelona. And not because I don't think that he doesn't profile Barcelona properly. I think that actually, as an interior, maybe we could make him work. I think that that's a possibility. But again, what I've said in the last couple of videos, why are we signing another midfielder? Or why are we signing players to block already the youngsters that we have interesting youngsters? And if you say Reinier for 40 million, that's telling Ricky Puig that he's never going to be in the first team. That's telling Aleñá that he's never going to get any minutes in the first team. If he's going to go and play in the forward line, Abel Ruiz, Ansu Fati, Carles Perez, where are they going to go? What is the plan with them? Reinier is 17 years old. It's true that he's very young. I'm pretty sure that he would not take it. I'm sure that if we sign him, he's not going to accept going to Barça V. So either loan him out or something. But that's where I think that the problem goes. Barcelona, as we know, are not very good loaning any players. And going to Barça B is a waste of his talent. He's really good to play in Barça B. Is he gonna end up being one of the best players in the world? Maybe. It could be. He definitely has potential to be one of the best players in the world, but that's the thing. Signing players just because they have potential, it's good and all, but when you're blocking progression that you're like from youngsters that you already have in your team, that you can make use of them for free, because Ricky Puig is free. Todibo, Araujo, Abel Ruiz, Ansu Fati, Carles Perez, Alex Collado, Oriol Busquets, Ludovic Reis, all of them are free. And the only exception that I would do is if you let go of Arturo Vidal, of Rakitic, and if you do those kind of things, then okay, maybe another midfielder could be considered. But if you do that, more than signing a central midfielder, I would sign another pivot. And maybe Sandro Tonali, because he's an exceptional case. He's like, he's the Mbappe of the CDM position. He's the Matthijs de Ligt of the CDM position. Those kind of things, like, they're going to be great in the future. But with Reinier, I still have to be convinced by some stuff. He has a lot of potential, like I said, but potential alone is not good enough. We've seen massive, and we've seen especially, Argentinians, Brazilians, every kind of player that has massive backstep potential, but that when they come to Europe, they realize that his potential and technique quality is not good enough. And I would just like to see more of the player. If we were going to sign him, I wouldn't sign him, like I said. We have already Ricky Puig, who I think is one of the best prospects in center midfield that we've generated in a long time. Definitely have to make use of him. In the forward lines, I want to see more of Abel Ruiz. I'm going to keep talking about Abel Ruiz because he has a lot of potential. And Ansu Fati more the same. Although he's a juvenile, we need to start planning ahead in the future because he's already delivering for the first team. And we need to make his progression to be easier. In so far, we can have the most use out of Ansu Fati that we can possibly have. Those are the kind of things that I think we have to consider. There is a few things that I would like to talk about further in Reinier. I know that there's a new Brazilian crop of players that are coming out. There's very interesting Brazilians actually coming out, and some of them would be interesting signings. But for the time being, we see, and I'm not saying that Reinier is not professional, that he's gonna come up with an attitude of not wanting to train, of those kind of things. But we already have, and this is not generalizing, but we know about these flashy Brazilian signings that Barca tends to have. I just want to remember you like some couple names and tell me what was their trajectory in Barcelona, other than they were great players, but how did they behave outside of the pitch. And I'm going to remember Romario, Rivaldo, Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, and Neymar. We all know that history, and we know that, for example, Romario, after winning one league title with Barcelona, after he won the World Cup, he left us for dry. That's case one. Ronaldo, we signed him from PSV. He comes to Barcelona, becomes the best player in the world, and after one season, the representatives, the agents, had made like dodgy dealings with Inter Milan and took the player out. I mean, that's not that much for Ronaldo, but case two. Then Rivaldo, he wins the Ballon d'Or by being a left winger, and then after winning the Ballon d'Or, he makes an act and wants to play in the number 10 position and wants to change makes the coach change from a 4-3-3 to a 4-2-3-1 just so Rivaldo could play at the number 10 position. And then we don't win league titles and things like that. Then Ronaldinho wins the World Cup, has fantastic seasons at Barcelona, but after he wins the World Cup, again, we see Ronaldinho in the 06-07 and 07-08 season that he wasn't the same player. Neymar in his first couple seasons, we've seen that all his stay at Barcelona was actually pretty decent, but then in his last season, he wants to go to Brazil, to the carnival, to his sister's birthday, things like this and that. Stays quiet the whole summer. Prices like Coutinho and Dembele, the prices go up. We could have signed him for cheaper. We have to sign him in the last couple of days of the window, and all this generated because we opted to go with talent instead of players that we already had, that we didn't really need, and that we could have done honestly better without. Again, not generalizing, not saying Reinier is going to be a professional player. He probably, he could probably be a pretty professional player, this and that. But the thing is that if you're going to sign number 10s, first of all, we have Coutinho. That if we're going to play with number 10, we have Messi, Griezmann, Coutinho, Aleñá, Ricky Puig. They could play in those kind of possessions. Like, we already have players to play those possessions. And if we're going to sign number 10s, then you have the likes of Dani Olmo, Martin Odegaard. Like, there's just a lot better options, I think, if we're going to make signings. But again, I wouldn't make any signings. We have enough already in the team. If you're going to make exceptional signings like Mbappé, Sandro Tonali, Mathis de Ligt, then fine. Youssef Attal, then fine. Those are, I think, good signings. But other than that, I would really look at La Masia, look at the Barca B, look at what you have, the youngsters that you have in the first team. And if they don't do good enough, okay, you move on and you sign other players. But if you're signing just because of signing and you don't have a path for them to... Because let's say that Reinier, we sign Reinier. what is going to be his path to succeed to be a star in the first team? I don't see one, because he's not going to move Artur, he's not going to move De Jong, and we're going to make him compete with Busquets, like to move Busquets out of position, transition the team into another way, compete with Ricky Puig, Aleñá, Alex Collado, Ludovic Reis, Oriol Busquets. Are we going to make him compete with that many players? So like a bunch of those players are not going to succeed at Barcelona. Is that what we want? Is that the plan that we should be having? I don't think so. Like I said, he has a lot of technique, good shot on him. He has really good passing, on long pass, short passing is really good. He's a very smart player. I see that he's aware of his surroundings, and that is a very important thing, especially in someone that's just 17. And if we need a number 10 and we are linked with Reinier, it would be fine. And if he was actually free or had 1 year left on his contract, then maybe it would be a thing better to consider. By considering that it's 40 million euros, it's not free, it's 40 million, and 40 million you could do a lot with 40 million. Like, 40 million, like, you could basically sign Tandro Tonali. So, is that, at the end of the day, what you want to do? Like, there's other things that we have to consider soon, I think, by probably, let's see if tomorrow or the day after, I do the video about my Barcelona for next season. And you'll see that I use a lot of La Masia, or the players that we have, and I basically don't sign anything. We generate a lot of funds, so that in a couple years time we can sign the big top players in the world like Kylian Mbappe and Mathis de Ligt. But we're all said and done. Leave me your opinions in the comment section below. What do you think about Reinier? What do you think he is? Do you think he's a great player? Do you think that Barca should be looking elsewhere? Do you think that we should sign him? Leave me all your opinions in the comment section below. Comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you the next one. Blaugranas.
Baby, got me staring at you. So I'm crazy. Won't you bend that back for me? We won't stop. Got your feet both locked. You get to fly with me.